Hey, yo, I know this dude, right? Carl, who wore tight blue sweats, but wasn't glued too tight. All he had upstairs was a crude light. You think that's weird? He lived next door to a food fight. Howdy danger, much obliged for the beat guard, even though you still eat lard by the meat ward. Mesquite chard, speaking of which who, voice all squeaky like they tuned it up a pitch or two. A chunk of burnt up witch's brew, get your crew, see if they can't get past the stench of the stew. It stank like a septic tank full of big poo. He mostly only turned into a Frank or an igloo. Switch your view to the brother with the fried dreads, not to be confused with them instant-selling skyheads. His name rhymes with Mike Cock. You can call him Livewire, eye sockets, fry lock. Able to shoot electricity through his eyeballs and blast all through your single-sided brick and drywall. More interesting than professional wrestling. When he's online, you can find him on his pestering. What's up with your boy? He's not a soft or hot drink. Whoever don't like it can suck his straw. It's hot pink. On some junk like Gucci on a classy hoe. Might splash you in the face with nuclear pistachio. Make a fast break or that'll be the last mistake that Asa makes. What you get for messing with Master Shake. Look out, don't block the screen, son, under cross. Trying to watch Adult Swim. Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Rock this cult hymn, socking mean younger boss. Psh, Adult Swim, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. He often wonders should he get the logo tattooed to his Woody. He could be number one in the hood, G. Boom, boom, bing. Easily. That was ATF, or ATHF, or Aqua Teen Hunger Force, by the Dangerous Doom. Danger Doom, the Mouse and the Mask. The first MF Doom album I fully properly heard. The first song I heard was Doomsday, which still to this day remains my favourite Doom track of all time. I think it's I want to say it's his best one he's ever done. It's my favourite. It's certainly one of the best ones he's done. He's done tracks that are probably better, and he's done other tracks that I like and listen to a great deal, but every time I go back and listen to Doomsday, off of Doomsday by Doomsday, it's just, the song just opens. It's so good, man. I heard that on a skate video and I was like, who the fuck is that? What the fuck kind of fucking music is that? And they didn't have like music credits because it's a skate video. They didn't put music credits at the end of their shit. So I didn't properly have the internet, but I managed to get on the internet, I think at a friend's house. And I was Googling the lyrics for what I could remember. I couldn't remember all of the lyrics, but certain parts. I was like, I think there's a Doomsday, ever since the womb till I'm back to the essence tomb. And I was like Googling parts of lyrics that I could vaguely remember. And I think, and this is back in the day where Genius wasn't a thing. The website that has all the lyrics of all the songs ever made ever. That just wasn't a thing. It was not as easy to get lyrics for songs back in the day. You don't know. You don't understand the struggle. So this is really uninteresting. This isn't the point of the video. But I managed to get enough of the lyrics correct that Google went, are you talking about this? This song? Is this what you mean? And I was like, yes, that's it. That's exactly the one. And it's been my favourite ever since. Now, that, like I say, that wasn't... I don't have an adequate light brown colour for Meat Wad. I don't know if I should do him red. I've got this I was about to use, but I don't know if that's... Oh, no, that doesn't work at all. It's a different colour, but it's not necessarily... shit, I might have fucked up my Meat Wad. If I had £1 for every time I'd fucked up my Meat Wad. I'm sure you can all relate, That's what I do here. It's Ewan's Relatable Content Hour. I hope you're all ready to go. Come on board, let's take a ride. It's the Ewan's Relatable Content Show. Hey, do you ever wish you could kill your mum Not that you actually think about doing it, but you know, you just get those thoughts. What they call them, intrusive thoughts these days. Oh, when the intrusive thoughts win. I killed my mum. She was awake. She was aware it was happening the entire time. Success. I'm drinking a cream soda, by the way. What is success? I had a joke about success, actually. I'll tell it. It says this guy, he's really down on his luck. And he's like lost his job, his girlfriend broke up with him. And he just can't make things work. He's been in and out of work, of all kinds of different jobs. He's trying this, trying that. He cannot make it happen. Can't seem to find anything that sticks, that just works, that brings him any kind of success in life. And one day, he's walking down the street, hands in his pockets, head down, whatever. He hears a noise or something. He looks up, and on the wall, he sees a sign posted on the wall that says, "This way to success," with an arrow. And he's like, well, shit, I mean, it's not like I've got anything else to do. I've tried everything else. Like, fuck it, let's go. So he follows the sign, "This way to success," follows the arrow. And then, a ways down the street, he sees another sign posted on the wall, "This way to success," with an arrow pointing towards an alleyway. And he's like, shit, okay, let's go. Follows the sign down the alley. There's another sign, "This way to success," just sort of continues down the alley. There's another one, "This way to success," this way, turns a corner. And this happens for, quite a while, maybe sort of 10, 20 minutes or so. He's following these signs, "This way to success," until eventually he comes to a building, or a doorway on a building, back alley, not clean looking, but sort of, not too dingy. There's a door, a nondescript blank door, can only be opened from one side, exit to a building, that kind of door, fire exit sort of thing, with a sign on it that says, "In here to success." So he knocks on the door, and nothing happens. And he sort of, should I leave it? I mean, what am I doing? Following signs to success. But he's like, fuck it, okay. Knocks again. And after a couple of seconds, he hears something like the door happening. And eventually the door opens. And he's like, shit. And stood in the doorway, a huge, like 6'6", 6'8", giant of a man, big burly man, leather trousers, leather vest, bald head, sunglasses, tattoos, a little beard, big, huge, sweaty, burly man, dirty, rugged hands, massive guy. And the guy looking for success he's like stunned. He doesn't know what to do. There's silence for a few moments, and then the big burly man, the huge, muscly, gnarly man, says, "Hi, I'm Cess." That's funny. I don't know many jokes. Like if someone says, "Ewan, tell me a joke, make me laugh, tell me a joke," the only one I know that's like a go-to joke that I can tell is two sausages are sitting in a pan. One says to the other one, "Oh, it's hot in here," and the other sausage says, "Ah, a talking sausage!" What is success? Success is if I do this. Oh, I should have prepared this beforehand. Well, I don't like to do that. I like to do everything off the cuff. Success is if I roll this dice and get a 20. Boom! First try. Look at that. 20. Success. Natural 20. First time. Didn't have to edit the video at all. That's my dice bag. That's what success is. Success is winning. It's winning every time, all the time, because you're the best at what you do. Where did Aquatine Hunger Force go? And that's what it means to be successful. It means to win all the time, to be the best in the world ever, to make the most money, to get all the bitches. That's what we like. We like money. We like bitches and cars, clothes, watches and sunglasses. Those are marks of success. Having things. having a lot of things means you're successful. That's how you know a successful person, if you've got a lot of things. Oh wow, you got so many things. Yeah, because I'm a huge success in, I don't know, insurance, in scamming people out of their money for insurance. Frankly, fuck everybody in the world. Fuck them all. So I was just thinking about killing my mum again. Fuck all of them. Fuck everyone who has now made the idea of success be money. I know I rant about money a lot. On and fucking on about it. But really, like, that success has been reduced down to, if you make the most money, you are successful, and if you don't make money, then you're unsuccessful. For instance, a successful work of art is a work of art that makes a lot of money in, the world at large. I would argue that's not the case. Yeah, I would argue that's fucking bullshit, and the fact that success has been reduced down to the money. If you make the money, you are the success. You're only successful if you make the money. I think that's a horrible, awful, shit thing to have happened to the world at large. So all my Posca pens are in 4 different locations. I have this bag. I have this bag also. And then I have these ones I bought. And I have these ones that I was sent. There's a few in, and I don't yet have a convenient place to put them all into one. I need to get a big box or a bag, but then I've got nowhere to put the big box or the bag. Do you know why I don't have anywhere to keep all of my Poscas as they fall out everywhere? Because I'm not successful. Because I'm an unsuccessful artist, and that's why I'm reduced to keeping all my pens and shit in separate bags in separate places across my poorly organised desk area, because I'm not successful. I'm an unsuccessful artist because I haven't made lots and lots of money, and I can't afford a studio space and a big desk and a rack with thousands of Copic markers or Posca markers, if that's what I'm using, which I currently am. I'm unsuccessful. Non-success, a failure, you might say. You might say Ewan is a failure. He's a failure at life. He's a failure as an artist. He's even more of a failure because he can't find where he put his grey Posca mark. Oh, there it is. Yeah, failure. Ewan's a failure. And that's why he's poor. And yeah, that was basically the what this all amounts to, talking about success. I don't know why I decided to talk about success. I hadn't planned on telling that joke. It would have been funny to be like, oh, I have this joke about success. Let me base an entire podcast episode around the concept of success just as an excuse to tell that joke. I only thought about telling the joke as I was doing the episode. It was an afterthought, not a forethought. I didn't think about it beforehand. And you can trust me because of the success role. I do stuff like that, completely true and honest, and that's how you know Ewan's a man to be trusted with the life of your children. If you're going away on holiday for a while and you need someone to turn your light off unexpectedly or to look after your children, Ewan's the man for the job. Because I'm a success. Or in societal terms, I think maybe I'm a half success. Because I've managed to turn my passion into a business. Which is, the point, isn't it? That's the point of life, is to turn everything into a business and to make money. It's not about living your life how you please on your terms and doing what you want to do with the short time you've got here. It's about appeasing an audience and the marketplace and making a product, producing content and products that people can consume and forget about, and then you make the next product and the next one and the next one until you're dead and all your products get forgotten about, or sold on by your immediate family or whoever the fuck happens to be around to sell your shit off to people for a quick buck. I'd argue success is a very personal thing. I'd argue that success can't be determined by outward factors, by the amount of people that engage with a piece, by how much money it makes, by how wide an audience it's spread to, by which publishers pick it up. I'd argue that success is personal, that if you set personal goals and you achieve those goals, then you're a success. See, if you set out to make a thing, if I, for instance, set out to make an art book, and I then make that art book, that art book is a success purely on the fact that it exists. My goal was to make an art book. If it sells a lot, that's an added bonus, or at least it's useful because it means I can afford to continue to make further art books, which is a grand thing. And if it doesn't sell a lot, then, you know, whatever. That wasn't the point. The point was to make the art book, not to sell the art book. If that was my goal, maybe I was about to use the same yellow. Maybe my goal is to make and sell an art book, and if that's the case, then, you know, hopefully I achieve that. But it's not about, you know, it's not about money. It's not all about money. It's never about money. You know, never do shit for the money. The second you do shit for money, that's when you're a whore. And I'm not just talking about OnlyFans and that sort of thing. I'm talking about, you know, any job. No, I'm not. It's a difficult thing because any job makes a whore out of you because you're literally selling your body for, you know, a small wage to a company so that you can produce production for them, produce work, produce products, produce revenue, ultimately, so you can produce revenue for a company. That's what it's all about. And it makes whores of us all. I whore myself out on the daily for my artwork. I'm not necessarily proud of it. I'm not necessarily unproud of it. The fact that I'm able to do that is quite astounding. That's why I consider myself at least relatively successful, if not a full-on success. Hey, I'm Cess. See, because he's gonna. Yeah, I mean maybe success is all based on yourself as a child. If your younger you would look at you now and be impressed by it, then you're a success. And if your younger you would look at you now and go, "What the fuck are you doing?" then maybe you're not such a success. I like to think that that's a legitimate scale of measuring success, because I like to think that, you know, the young children of that. What the fuck am I talking about? Take a billionaire. I'm not going to name them because you will know who the cunts are. Take a billionaire, any one of those cunts. The child version of them, if they looked up to their current self, would they be impressed? Well, yeah, they probably would be. They were probably all cunts as children as well. See, the pure, decent, good part of me wants to go, no, the child billionaire, the child version of a billionaire would look at them now and go, "What are you doing? Who cares? I don't care if you own a mansion and drive all these cars and get divorced from your wife and everyone hates you. Why? Who cares? Why aren't you, building fucking parks and football fields and roller coasters? And why don't you own an ice cream factory? Why don't you fucking pay to become an astronaut or well, I guess actually some of them have done that. So that was a complete slip of the mind. I didn't even think about that. They're just such cunts, and I hate that they are seen as successful when they're the most horrible. Because no one becomes a billionaire by being a good person. Not fucking one of them. You listen to them talk about, I always have this idea of how I came to, the bold cunt talking about it's about customer obsession, and we're obsessed with our customers. You're obsessed with your customers so much that you're invading their personal space and gathering as much information as you can, like a stalker. You're obsessed with your customer like a stalker. You fucking sit outside their window at night taking notes on their habits. You look through their garbage at what they buy and go, oh, they like this kind of product. I'll make sure to advertise this kind of product to them daily so they buy more of it from the company I own. And then I'll make more money because I'm obsessed with my customer. Fuck you. Fucking just fuck every single fucking one of them. Not one of them is in the position they're in because they're a good person. And I don't know if any good person could really become a billionaire, because what kind of sick piece of shit hoards that much money and does nothing genuinely beneficial? Oh, but Bill Gates gives lots of money to charities. He set up charities to do the dirty. Yeah, and what effect has that had on the world? Are we living in a better world because of it? No. Could we be? Could we live in a much better world with that kind of money available to people? Yes. Would they do it? Would they let it, change the world in that way? No, they wouldn't, because then they wouldn't be the winners. And that's what it's all about. It's all about winning. Oh, I'm the successful one. I won the life game by having the most money because I'm the best ever. Because I've got money. Money means I'm the best. Ooh. Everyone hates you. That's why they all get divorced. Because you imagine living with the person that becomes a billionaire. Just the fucking, how insufferable they must be to be around. Because they assume they've won. They assume they're the best. They're the winner. They're successful. And so if you get to spend time with them, then wow, lucky you. You get to hang out with the Mr. Successful pants over here. And they've just got to be the most irritating, insufferable. And you listen to them talk on Twitter. Some of them even fucking own Twitter. And they're just uninteresting, unfunny, try hard, desperate for attention, pieces of shit. And everyone's desperate for attention. People, I'd make a podcast because I feel like everyone should listen to me talk about my shit, which isn't and never was the reason for the podcast. I don't assume everyone wants to listen to me. Because I'm unsuccessful, and maybe that's why I'm unsuccessful. I don't have the cavalier attitude of let's fucking get him. I'm the best. I'm gonna win, and everyone loves me because I'm me and me. And maybe that's why I'm fucking poor. I just ultimately what I'm trying to say is I want to have one of those left tube moments of. Bring the tone, make the tone a bit somber, a bit more somber, a bit more, let's talk for real now. Let's get a bit serious. Because success isn't about money, and if you start thinking that way, then you've lost already, and you're probably a piece of shit that wears sunglasses. I'm compiling images of the exact sort of person I talk about when I talk about hating people that wear sunglasses, and I'll have a little image compilation for you of that soon. It's pretty funny, I'll be honest. Then you're just one of those cunts, and you're successful, but not in the right way. Success is a personal thing. Set goals and set achievable goals that you know you can achieve. So you almost, you can't fail. You're gonna be successful because you're doing shit that you know you can do, and you're gonna fucking do it, and that's an amazing thing. There's a friend of mine. I don't know if he watches this shit. I met him in college. We're sort of not really in touch anymore, but we're on good terms. I met him in college, and I think he was doing some like plumbing or electrician course or something. And he started getting into painting graffiti. He obviously he was. He loved me and what I do because I was like this great, amazing graffiti writer in college, and everyone was like, "Oh, Ewan, yeah, you're fucking so good." And yeah, we painted together a bunch of times, and but he had no artistic inclination whatsoever. He didn't draw or paint. He just he was learning a trade, I assumed, to get work, but then he had an interest in like going out and writing on shit. Which is, fine. That's cool. That's fun enough, and that's why some people do graffiti, just to do that, and that's perfectly reasonable and fair and fine, and we like that. But then through that, he ended up, learning about, like, I guess, graffiti as art, and started really paying attention to, making his graffiti look quote unquote good. And he did make it look good. I only use that term because, graffiti is very subjective, and you can't just say graffiti is necessarily good or bad because it's a spectrum, yeah. But yeah, he started putting effort into like learning about the art of graffiti and then learning about art in general. And from there, he started. He stopped doing his trade course and started doing an art course at college just after I'd left. And yeah, he was learning more about art, about drawing, about painting. And then he started after college started getting commissions for like portraits and painting people's bedrooms and stuff. I not spent a lot of time talking to him, so I don't know if he's making like a lot of money from it, but I consider him to be hugely successful as an artist because of that, because he found something he liked doing more so than what he was doing, enough to quit what he was doing to do the thing he wanted to do, and he started doing it and seemed to be having a great time. And obviously the money part of it isn't what counts, but the fact that he was able to do that is just outstanding. And I think I consider him to be one of the more successful people I know, purely based on that fact. Because not a lot of people can say that. It's. I don't know. Shut up, Jesus. Oh, shall I say penis some more? Oh, penis, arse and tits, shit, piss and fart and dicks. Diddy. Oh, Lobo, I made you out of clay. Lobo. Jewish song, hooray. Did you see this? I painted this. I thought it was this. I was really happy with it. I think it came out really well. Some people, I consider them to be a bit foolish, but some people have said they even prefer my version, which, let's not be silly, Let's not be silly. Now, no. Oh, see, I was going to say, if Simon Bisley painted a Lobo today, I could probably paint better than that, just because the direction he's gone with his artwork in more recent years isn't necessarily up to his, previous standards. But as I was thinking that, I also realised I did this because I saw Simon Bisley posting on Instagram. He got commissioned to paint a large-scale version of this on a canvas. And he's going to make it look like this, like his old art. So he obviously can still paint like he used to paint. So if he did a Lobo today, which he's doing, mine would not be better than it. But it's, like I said when I posted it, I learned to paint by copying Bisley and Fabry mostly. Glenn Fabry is the big one. Simon Bisley is a very close second. So it's only fair and reasonable that I'm able to produce at least a half decent copy of a piece of his artwork, and it was just for fun. There was no reason for it. I'd consider that a success. I'm happy with it, and it's a final finished piece. Someone has bought this, so I'll be shipping it off in a couple of days. But that's, I had no intention of selling it, so it was a successful piece of artwork as it is, just because I intended to do this. I set a goal for myself, do a copy of this. I did it, and it came out really well. I'm really happy with the result. Success. There you go, a natural 20 in painting form. Someone has bought it, but that's a completely, separate issue. It's a side note. It doesn't matter, it's irrelevant. But I thought I'd look at some Lobo while I'm here, because, fucking why would you not? It's in the docket, it's on the thing. I like the space dolphins, that's a cool thing. This really feels like a comic that, like, you just draw and make it look fun. You're not too bogged down in, like, script and making shit really, like, has to stick to the notes in the script. It has to fit into a box perfectly. Just make a fucking thing and make it cool. And so I don't know if the space dolphins are, like, are they in the script? Is that a thing in Lobo in general? Space dolphins? I don't know. I know I look at all of this stuff with zero information, zero knowledge, zero context. Let's just look at the artwork, yeah? Isn't it fun? This is some of the best Bisley ink work I've seen. I believe he inked it himself. Shall we see if it says so? It just says Simon Bisley, artist. It doesn't say pencils, inks, whatever. Just Simon Bisley, artist. Separate colorist, Laverne Kinzierski. So yeah, safe to assume Simon Bisley drew and inked it. And of course I've seen some of the original artwork, not in reality, in real life form, IRL, but I've seen pictures of some of the original black and white artwork. And it's inked and it's really, really good. So it's safe to say this is some of Simon Bisley's best ink work. His ABC robot stuff, which we've looked at, is phenomenal, fantastic, and you can see where he's like really, it's early days and he's clearly like, not to say in later years he's not trying, but like at the start of a career you have to really try. You've got to make a name for yourself and you've got to put the effort in, and that comes through in his artwork in ABC Warriors, where you can see on the page the effort he's putting in to his drawing and his inking and his compositions and all the rest of it. This is like a step further from that. It obviously is, I assume, afterwards. Maybe it's around a similar sort of time. 1990, I think the ABC Robots was very, very, very late 80s. I don't know. Again, I don't know anything. Why am I talking about shit I know nothing about? But this is like a bit looser than the ABC Robots, and it looks like he's having more fun drawing it. Just fun stuff, chainsaws, and then just these designs are probably all just his designs of people. The classic, the Lobo has the look as well, and I guess, are these like a Lobo gang or something? The Lobo jacket and jeans and thick arms and gruff face. That looks like Joe Pineapples from the ABC Robots, and it looks like his version of Mean Machine. He has that design in mind. And I was going to bring it up when I got to this page, but this is cool. It's a really, really nice splash panel, a really cool drawing of Lobo. A cool just drawing anyway. But if you Google it, I guess, look for the black and white artwork for this page. The hatching around like his pecs and arm and stuff looks so good in black and white. The comic book reproduction of it does not do it justice at all, which is a shame. It looks great as it is. It's a fantastic... I might actually do a painting of this, because that'd be quite a fun one. But yeah, the original artwork. That's why I'd love to see like an artist edition, the Simon Bisley artist edition of like all of Lobo, and then the Horned God and fucking, I guess the Judgment Over Gotham, you know, the bigger version I've got is almost an artist, but you know, the huge artist edition where you see the work at actual size, which is giant, and you can look at every little speck, every little piece. That's really cool. That's almost like this, isn't it? Oh, it's like the fucking. I really struggle with stuff like this, like sci-fi buildings and vehicles and stuff. I just go like normal thing that I know, but like take off the legs or take off the wheels and put it in space. There you go. Space car. It's like a regular car, but in space. That's so good. Crack. There's almost not a lot of movement in Lobo. He looks fairly solid and static, but I think that's just because he's like planted to the ground. And the movement is in his arm, so maybe that's even better. And the movement that comes in here. Love that pose. His dynamic poses are just something else. So good. Booting that guy in the head. There's all this background story shit going on. I don't know what the fuck that all is. And I like that they're all painted covers. He clearly like blew it out of the water on that one, and then the rest of them are just sort of like, yeah, Bisley covers. Not some of his best covers, but this one's certainly one of his best and most iconic easily. But you know, like I very rarely see this one shared or reproduced anywhere, and it's good, but it's not like when you think of Bisley, you don't necessarily think of this cover. Like if I painted that, I'd still be happy. And if I was so I just kept going back to it. I love just the single drawings of Lobo. That's the problem I have with comics. When I make comics myself, is that's all I want to do. It's just single drawing of a character, single drawing of a character, single drawing of a character. That's all I want to fill my comics with. But like, you have to do more than that, which is a shame. And this is one I'd love to see the ink of, because it looks like there's really cool like hatching around certain parts of it that are just lost in the printing process, which is a shame. That's cool. Spray paint and drawing together. Some ballet shit and people die. I don't know what's happening. I really should read comics, shouldn't I? What a novel idea! Reading comics. It will never catch on, you know. It's a nice thought, but I don't see it catching on at all. Just cool drawings of Lobo. That's all I'd want to do. Just cool drawings. Cool drawing. That's really good though. Body and then detail and then detail and then body. That's a cool page. That's a cool layout. Slash. Using the spray paint, which is difficult. It doesn't reproduce well in these older comics where they're printed on newsprint and they only have like a certain amount of colours to use, and it's not just a direct, you know, physical print of a digital image. It's a very different process. So reproducing like the spray paint effect, it's a little bit hit and miss. But it still works. I like that it's there because it really does give the comic a much more like punk grunge sort of feel than, you know, most DC comics would. It really does feel like one of a kind. Even other Lobo comics, you know, I think they probably all get compared to Bisley because Bisley's known as like the Lobo guy. Oh man, that's fucking cool. That's really fun. I like that he's got like spray painted shapes. I don't know if maybe, I wonder how he did that. If he was just spraying over like scraps of paper or something, or just randomly, because it looks like some parts are somewhat masked off, but not amazingly, not like sharply masked. Maybe you like hold a bit of paper a bit of distance away so the spray gets under it rather than just straight around it. And then that's just the background. And then he's got spray paint as like shading, it looks like, for parts of this space station or whatever. It's pretty fucking cool. It's pretty fucking cool. It's always got to be fun if you're like the guy making the comic to get a splash panel that's just mostly just the character. And you can just go, right, sit down for the afternoon, draw the character, throw in some background stuff, some graffiti or whatever, some skulls and bones, giant chain. Yeah, there you go, page done. Brilliant. Not that you want to get it rushed and done quickly, but like if that's the page that you have to do today, for instance, then that's like, fuck yeah, let's go. Let's get this shit done. Faces too, like portraits of, especially of fun characters, are fun to draw. So sometimes drawing a few portraits in amongst a couple of pages can be quite fun. Like if you have to draw them again and again, just faces, it gets really tiring. But something like this, where it's just like different faces, different expressions, different shit going on, that's probably really, really fun to draw. Because faces, just there's something about them. If you're just doodling and stuff, faces are just fun to draw and a very natural thing to draw. It's like the cover. That's cool. I wonder if. No, they are. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're different pieces. Yeah, they are. I was just wondering if maybe he had like traced this and used it for the cover, but no, it looks like they are separately produced pieces of artwork. Yeah, definitely are. I just think that's probably how I'd do it. If I had a smaller piece in the comic, I'd just trace it, paint over it, blow it up, and yeah, call that a cover. Not necessarily. I'm kidding around. I mean, maybe. You know, sometimes you get tired, get a bit lazy. You just want to get some shit done. This is really, really cool. A little bit with the composition of like, so he's punched that guy or something, or like ripped into him or something. I don't know, where's the rest of him? I don't know where his legs are going because there's this guy's head and this guy's head. Bit of an awkward composition, but it's dynamic and it looks cool, so fucking he gives a shit. And there's all these like extra bits of like, yeah, Lobo's student report card and some backstory elements and stuff, which if you're actually going to read the shit, are probably really fun and interesting and adds a lot to the depth of the story and whatever. But you know, I'm not about that life. It's not what I do. It's not where I'm at. That's a cool page. Smoking looks cool and it's really fun to draw people smoking. There's just something about like the shapes of the body while smoking, especially if it's a big fat cigar. Cigars are another one. Every time I see someone smoking a cigar, this is a tangent, it goes back to my talking about cunts, wearing sunglasses, driving fast cars, having money, reading, people that smoke cigars are such a sign of like rich people decadence and like, oh, I'm just going to hang out on the balcony and have a cigar. And like, you know, people who aren't necessarily that well off will like get cigars so they can feel like they're like, you know, a gangster, some mafioso, like, oh yeah, have a nice cigar, treat yourself to a cigar. And like, I don't know, there's nothing wrong with cigars inherently other than the fact that, you know, they're just not good for you in any way whatsoever. I have no problem with just smoking cigars, but it's like cigarettes, and like especially hand-rolled cigarettes, are like a working class, like just human thing. And then you get cigars, which are just like, they've been co-opted by rich people, especially, you know, with like Cuban cigars being illegal, but you can still get them if you've got a lot of money. That's a tangent, it's irrelevant. I just think people who smoke cigars, even if they're not cunts, you can't really avoid looking like a cunt smoking a cigar. In my mind, my opinion is I'd never do that because I'm not a cunt. No, but I would happily talk about killing my own mother, so I guess I'm that kind of cunt. I'm breezing through it while talking about cunts. Is this going to be the podcast that I say cunt in the most times? I think this is... You have... I'm going to make up the term right now, final issue syndrome, where sort of you have to wrap everything up. So you've got all the story elements have to come together to form a cohesive ending to the story. And so that's where all these story elements come in. So looking through it, I'm getting a bit like... What's happening? We're here now, we're there now, and we're everywhere else, and I don't know what's going on, and why is he now in like a Hawaiian shirt, and he's chilling, and there's all this shit going on. Because it's the end of the thing, and you've got to tie it all up. But again, I've not read it, so he looks funny, though. It's also good to do that, to take your character, like Gun Viking. If I take Gun Viking and draw him in a funny outfit, that would be quite a fun little piece to do. I like this though. This is... Crowd scenes are difficult to draw at the best of times. Just getting the composition of like several people at once is a tricky thing to do. But this is a really well done one. And you can see... Because you can see construction lines in some of these. I don't know if those were like the pencils and he just didn't erase them, or if it's ink lines he used. But I think those construction lines are evidence of him really sort of building the image. He's not just drawing bodies hickledy-pickledy. He's putting a bit more thought into like fitting them together so parts don't get lost here and there. Because that's like, you can see this guy's full body, that guy's full body, this guy here, this guy here. And then, you know, less of them as they go further back. But it's a really well-built image. And the people in the foreground is really cool, like in shadow coming right close to you. This guy's funny in the background. The crowd scene, which looks like it may be like there might be paint on top of black ink or something. White media, as they say. I think this guy in a Ramones shirt. Her skirt's come up, oh my god. That's a really, really cool... And it's a cool double page spread as well. It's cool as well because I think you think double page spread, your mind goes to like Lobo with guns blowing people apart and there's explosions and all this shit. And that's just like, you know, there is stuff happening, but it's like a crowd scene. It doesn't even have the main character in the double page spread in the comic, in the last issue. Which you'd think it would, but... Because that's sort of what you do, isn't it? You take the double page spread as an opportunity to show off the character and what he's doing or what they are doing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. This is Simon Bisley, guys, not bad. Next, oh, there's more. No, but for real, next we're using. Oh god damn it! I really need just a big box marked Posca. I just keep all... I didn't intend to have this many. I got sent some, I bought some others at several points in time, and now I've got a whole bunch of... I've got some good colours, I can create some good artwork. I can get a quarter way through colouring in some Aqua Teen Hunger Force drawing and then just forget about it. I think my next plan is to do a copy of this one, because I did a copy of the other one. Did this amazing piece of artwork that I came up with on my own, and I figured now I'd come up with this one on my own as well. So I'm gonna just do a quick little so my instinct is, do I do a straight my instinct when I do a study, my thoughts go to, do I just do a straight copy, or do I do it like, because if I'm doing a straight copy then it's like, because it's not like the midpoint is sort of here, it's not like this, it's tilted, so you've got to keep that. But then if I was going like I'm going to take this but do my own version of it. Then it would be like, whoa, and his hair's like all over here, and he's like leaning even further this way, and his arms over here, and he's... So, but I think this one, just like the previous one, is going to be a more of a straight copy than not that. And this how it normally works. I do this with some nudes, and usually if I am copying or using reference, heavily using reference, I do a very, very rough drawing like this, just so I sort of gauge where everything is and what I'm doing with it. And then I'll lightbox this while still using this as reference to like tidy it all up and get everything as close as I possibly can get it. And then sometimes it works out well, and if it doesn't work out well, then you'd never know, because I don't show it off. I only show off the successful pieces. That's why I appear more successful than I maybe am, because you only see me when I'm successful, which is, you know, it's the old history is written by the victors or whatever. It's the same sort of thing as I can give the impression maybe that I draw brilliantly every time and I never make a mistake and it's all good and I'm this amazing, fantastic. But that's only because I only show off the stuff that I consider successful, that I like. And if I feel like I failed, I probably won't show it off. And there have been many instances of that. You know, don't believe everything you see online, as if everyone didn't already know that. But it's true, you know, artists, they show you what they want to show you. Anyone, that's why when you see a girl online that you think's really attractive, and it's like, she's not, she's an ugly fuck. Oh, that's unnecessarily mean. But no, I mean, even girls will even say that. Like, they'll say it to guys when they're trying to get rid of them, to stop fucking messaging them all the time. Sorry, I guess I'll stop. They say when the guy's like, "Oh, you're so pretty, you're so hot. Oh my god, I can't believe how hot you are." And they're like, "Yeah, you say that, but it's all makeup and filters and stuff." And it's exactly that. You know, they show you what they want to show you, how they want to be seen, and then you develop an idea of what they're like based on what you see, which is perfectly fair and reasonable, because that's a very human thing to do. Is you build your opinions based on what you see, and if what you see is a very curated, carefully put together, you know, piece of work or just thing, then that's just how you're going to view the thing. So of course you think I'm an amazing artist, because that's what you see. But at the same time, of course you think I'm an amazing artist, because I bloody am. I'm a success, mate. I'm a fucking star. That's from a Skinny Man song. Do you know Skinny Man? Skinny Man does whatever a skinny can. I hate drawing chains so much. That's one of the many reasons I hate drawing Judge Dredd. I hope I don't win that contest. I haven't heard the results yet. They've not given them. But I hope I don't win that Judge Dredd contest, because then if I start getting more work to draw more Judge Dredd, then I'll have to draw Judge Dredd's fucking costume again and again, possibly. And that'll be a pain in the ass, because the little chain from his zip to his badge is just... Why would you have that? My go-to, if you got like Dredd's face, is sad Dredd face. His neck, and he's got his little collar. Shoulder pads, everyone loves. Badge about here. Says Dredd on it. And you've got a chain going from here to here. My go-to would just be like, do this. It would look shit, but whatever. Or like... just this and then just segment it. I don't know. But then having an actual chain with like chain links, they're just such a fucking ball ache to draw. and to get right, and like then you've got to draw a chain turning, like this is a chain link here. Am I really doing this right now? And then this is, and then, see, because already I'm getting it all wrong. See, because now this one's this way, then this way, then this way, and then we can turn it this way, and it's just, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I just don't like drawing chains. They annoy me ever so slightly. It's a slight annoyance. It's an ever so slight grievance I have. So I'm going to go on and on and on about it. On and on and on about it. When copying things, pay attention to where stuff is in relation to other stuff. It's the instinct is just to draw it as it is, but you've got to like take into account, right, the line of this. If this is in a vaguely straight line, it's more like this. It's here. It goes just above the drop of the elbow, so that's here. So that looks about right. And then the arm curves out here, there, and then the top of the trouser line, the chain starts like one link above that. So about there, the chain starts. Also, pay attention to the negative space, yeah? Because if you get this shape, this orange shape here, if you get this right and this right, then the shape in general will be right. That's something I learned from life drawing. So you can see already this space here is too wide. So I need to make this gap smaller. Try to recreate this orange shape. That's a bit closer to it. Not so tall there. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a little bit. And the belt put there. Yeah. And then the elbow is just above the trouser line, so I've got that about right. So that's cool. And do stuff like this, like that's vaguely the width of his body, and so yeah, it looks like I've got that about the right size. More chains, more chains, more chains. When I paint it, I might just paint all of this in shadow, and then just paint vague chain shapes on his arm here. But it's good that that's all in shadow. Anytime there's a lot in shadow, it's makes it easier. And then his hair. I fucking hate drawing hair so much. That's why, I mean, I was going to say that's why I like my character Death Fist, because he's got no hair, he's just a skull. But then if you look at Gun Viking, he's got a lot of fucking hair. And believe me, I despise that fact. I hate how much hair I gave Gun Viking, and I hate drawing it and painting it. It's a pain in my ass. Like sometimes it can look really cool and flowy, and then other times it's just a fucking ball ache. Irritates me. The jacket's that big. The hair is a bit shorter, so if the jacket's this big, the hair's a bit short. Yeah. So yeah, I got the proportions just about right. He's got his scalp, his crown here. A bunch of hair coming out. I do like Lobo's hair though. I like the style of it, and it looks very like Bisley having fun drawing kind of hair rather than painstakingly. Because some people will draw hair in comics or otherwise, and they'll really, you can see they're putting the fucking effort into making it look, I don't know, realistic or believable or whatever. But I like Lobo's hair. Let's see if there's an example in here. Do you know what the best example would be? Be in here. Where's that one page? Yeah, where it's like sort of just a bunch of lines. Just you can see how quickly he's just scribbled this hair in. A bit of care here and there, but for the most part, it's just shapes. You just imply the shape of the hair and go, that's all right. It looks hairy enough. That'll do. Like here, it's not painstakingly done. It's just fucking just done. It's just put in there, and it fits the character of Lobo, obviously, but it fits the artwork of Bisley as a whole, and it fits my hole. I'll put it in my hole and keep it there. Lay an egg with it, and I don't know what the fuck I'm. The caffeine's wearing off. I hope you enjoyed me talking about success. I don't know why that was a thing. The Aqua Teen Hunger Force was. I was going to do that for while I did my hot sauce thing, eating hot sauce, just hot sauce, raw sauce. I was going to see, because it's food, so I was going to be like, hey, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, food, drawing food, eating food. I've done this skull too big. Again, you look at the space, see, there's a bit here, and then if this is the bite me bit, then there should be more space between that and the skull. So yeah, I thought I'd draw food and then eat food, but I don't know if the fuck.